Outtrade you.
Test, test.
I can hear you, whoever's testing.
Thanks, Thad. Joe at Town Hall.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey. Stacy, can you hear me? Stacy.
Hey, Thad, Joe.
Your audio's bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What did you know here?
I'm here. Can you hear?
Not great. You might want to switch to public Wi-Fi. That's not good.
We'll be back on track.
What's that? Right, cool, yeah. Like, I can hear parts of your voice, but it chops up and breaks up, so I can, well. Hold it, I think.
All right, will you go listen again? We'll see it.
This has been here ever since I played. One. Oh, yeah.
Test, test.
Yep, you're loud and clear.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're loud
Thad.
and clear in here as well. How's the audio in here?
Yeah, way better. It's clear, continuous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just leave it on that Wi-Fi.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Wait, I don't think you're really done that, just to get that out.
Yes, and I left it in there.
Is it a closed meeting? Is it a- No. Nobody wants to close it. Right there, it's there. Yeah, and I know that it actually works or not. And another cardboard. No, we're not, the sound is not coming through the TV, it's only coming through this.
Oh,
Yeah, because the TV's not, yeah.
Good music, it's a great part of town. Can you see the TV on here?
Hey, Thad, could you give us a little bit of test audio?
Sure, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
It's a little better.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's kind of.
Yeah, because if you don't see the TV as an option.
Here.
Yeah, it sounds like already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Thad, one more time.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. How are you, Stacy Campbell?
That is perfect. Thank you so much. We got it settled. Thank you.
Sure.
Yep, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Everybody on laptop, just make sure you're both in and out if you could. We're a little comfy cozy today.
Yeah, it was Chambers is under construction, I take it.
Correct. Yeah, for the AV system.
Right.
Taking perfect walls.
Nice.
Bad rooms. Yeah.
I remember those walls pre rugs.
Wasn't that supposed to be done when we took the room or something?
It was discussed, I think it got valuated. Yeah. No.
It's a look on, so.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry. All right, Ms. Mayor, you're on mic recording.
Great, thanks, Stacy. With that, let's get the special meeting of the Frisco Town Council for June 29th, 2026 up and running. With that, may we have a roll call, please?
Kimmy.
Here.
Here.
Kirk.
Here.
Aiken.
Here.
Gretchen Leader. Here. And at this time, Held is absent and Goldstein is absent.
Great, sounds like Andy will be joining us in a bit, so we're just gonna get going since we have a quorum. With that, I'm gonna open up public comments. Public comments are reserved for items not slated on the public hearing on the meeting's agenda. If you plan to comment on an item already slated on the public hearing later on the meeting's agenda, please wait until the item is announced in the public comment is requested at that time. State your name and address for the record and limit comments to 3 minutes or less. No council action is taken on public comments at council meetings. Council takes public comments under advisement, and if a council and or staff response is deemed necessary or appropriate, the individual making the comment will receive a formal response from the town at a later date. Be sure to sign in at the welcome table at each meeting. If providing in-person public comment, include contact information for follow-up. With that, do we have any public meeting in chambers or online?
Fine, just checked.
Okay, not seeing any online or in chambers, we're gonna close public comment and move on to any mayor and council comments. No mayor and council comments, we'll move into staff updates.
So, briefly discussed before one of the council members, 4th of July.
Oh,
And I understand Martin is not gonna be here, Robin's not gonna be here, Dan is effectively not gonna be here. Sorry, I can't, that's quite all right, I got it. Elizabeth, are you around and participating in the 4th of July parade?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware. So it's just you and Thayer, right?
got
And I haven't heard. So,
Is this like a council thing?
well, that's what you guys gotta decide, because we will have a vehicle available to store candy, if that's what you want, and I'm happy to drive it, right? That you can walk along, or if you wanna ride bikes, then you're probably not gonna.
Sure. I think there, just for timelines that I was gonna mention later. So for 4th of July, we probably talked about this in April. As to how we were gonna deploy, if we weren't sure who was around, and we kind of landed on a couple of topics. One, no marshal for this one, and then also we were gonna do the walk. We've done bikes in the past, which works fine. Biking and candy delivery, should you choose to participate, can be challenging. A vehicle we walked next to in the past, and it's pretty much just been our supply cash. Should you choose to participate in candy? So that's kind of where we landed. And are you, Elizabeth, you're not gonna participate at all?
I mean, if there's a group of people, then I could possibly jump in for that.
No big whoop. So with that, I would probably just propose that we just walk. Families are encouraged to join us, and we can do a car or just carry stacks of candy. Very cool. Yeah. Good on. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the car, it's new this year with the barricades, so it makes the car slightly less treacherous. But it's our first year with barricades, we don't know. That was pretty good.
The metal barricades on.
Yeah.
We use it for.
It's been a long
Yeah.
time, if it,
Not our staff.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I can't recall.
Breckenridge uses.
Every time we have,
So there's that. So we'll coordinate with Tom. That's cool.
I will be at town hall, and we should see his attire. Very, very traditional, very traditional.
There will be wearing your kit.
I will.
Really sorry.
Oh, yeah.
My seersuckers, do that. Yeah.
If we chose to walk, maybe there's a wagon we could borrow.
Yeah.
And just. Plug that along with our.
People. Other questions?
I'm really just worried about my.
No, you'll be
Oh,
walking
you
next
still
to
be walking.
it. Yeah, it's just for someone.
Only Tom's driving.
Yeah, that's.
You're not allowed.
Yeah. Can't believe how much. we had that one. Yeah.
Cool. Any other updates, Tom? That's it. Cool, thanks. So we'll close staff comments and we'll move straight into the consent agenda. I'm not aware of any changes in the consent agenda. With that, I can entertain a discussion and or a motion. I only have one question for it. We're sleeping on target. On target. Days. That is correct. Cool. Yeah. Great, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Please call the question.
Allen. Bailey.
Yes.
Goldstein is absent. Held, who is here, would you like? The name just got in. This is the consent agenda.
agenda, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Skrcheck Adrian,
Yes.
Hirsch,
Yes.
and Egan.
Yes. Great, thanks. Then we'll move into new business, of which everyone's aware we've got a number of items. So agenda item number 1 is consideration and possible approval for first reading ordinance 26-12. An ordinance approving an amendment to the ground lease agreement between the town of Frisco and West Main Apartments LLLP for property located at 101 West Main Street for the purpose of an affordable housing development. I think that is taken us through all of this. Actually, and James, we're going to attack these.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We talked about me providing some big picture comments, frankly, on this whole agenda before I turned individual matters over to James, who did most of the legwork in preparing all of the staff memos that are in your packet. I want to start by generally describing this entire agenda. Obviously, it's all really, you can see from the titles, it is all related to the affordable housing project at 101 West Main Street. All of these 11 items and the additional couple of items that you will hear as the Frisco Community Housing Development Authority after this meeting are doing one of 3 things with respect to that deal. They are either providing accommodation for the principal lenders on the deal. There are 2 lenders outside of the town and the money that the town has and is approving for lending on the deal. There are 2 principal bank lenders, one being Bank One, the other, you'll see reference to the name in the agreements, is Cedar Rapids. So the first thing it's doing is accommodating those financings, largely as we discussed at the last meeting, by putting the town in a subordinate position to those larger loans when it comes to any foreclosure situation. Also, in a similar vein, these agreements are protecting, like lenders' rights, are protecting grantors' rights on behalf of state agencies that have provided grant monies for this deal, like CHFA, Colorado Housing Finance Authority, and Colorado Department of Housing, CDOH. You'll see reference to them as well. So that's the first thing that a lot of these documents are doing. The second thing is essentially accommodating transfer of all of the development rights and obligations and leases and development agreements, accommodating the transfer of all of those rights and obligations to the final development entity. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the sort of the chain of title or custody of this property or the project by way of the entities. But a lot of these documents are simply providing for that transfer of rights to the final development entity, which is known as West Main Apartments, Limited Liability, Limited Partnership. And then finally, some of the documents are really just accommodating or providing for the execution or delivery or performance of the deal itself. particularly with respect to the commercial unit that the town will receive upon completion of construction of that project. You'll recall that the zoning requires that be a mixed-use project. In this instance, it was allowed to have just a single commercial unit that the town has agreed to purchase. So some of these agenda items are dealing with the actual creation of that commercial unit on behalf of the town, and then what's being referred to as a forward purchase agreement with respect to that unit. The other thing that some of these agreements, one of these agreements does, is accommodates the development itself by providing a temporary license agreement, a temporary right to use the town right of ways that are immediately adjacent to surrounding the property, I believe on the south side and the west side, as depicted in one of those agreements. So that's what each one of these is doing, that one way or the other. I wanted to talk briefly about the transition of this deal from its original form. Some of you have been around for the entire deal, others have not. This deal had its inception in a development agreement between the town and the NHPF Foundation. That's the big, the big capital NHPF back in Washington. Summer of 2023, that deal was later amended by an amended and restated development agreement. That development agreement then was entered into between the town and, instead of NHPF Foundation, the West Main NHPF West Main LLC, which was the completely NHPF controlled entity that was at least temporarily designated as the development entity. From there, now we have moved on to the third and final entity that will be the actual developer at the end of the day. That is referred to in the agreements as the West Main Apartments LLLP, so limited liability, limited partnership. This entity is primarily NHP or an NHP affiliate. A very small fraction of this entity is actually owned by the town through the Fishkill Community Housing and Development Authority. That small fraction of ownership, it is a limited liability, special limited partner. So the town gets the benefit of those agreements, but not really the liabilities. The benefit for the deal in having the development authority as a small fractional owner is that the deal will then potentially be eligible for tax savings as a result of designations by the housing authority from year to year. So that's how we got from NHPF down to this limited liability, limited partnership, to which you see a lot of the rights and obligations flowing. I think I've already touched briefly upon the fact that there are two different private financiers here, U.S. Bank, and then the entity being referred to as Cedar Rapids. And then in addition, as I mentioned, CHAFA has some interest by way of the money that it loaned the town to purchase the property from the developer and then lease it back to the developer for 99 years and $1. So with that, that is sort of the big picture on both the succession of entities and who it is that is now financing this, and accordingly, what is the need for these various subordinations of the town's limited amount of debt to those larger debts by the financing entities. With that, I think I will just, sorry.
Everything's good. Everything.
Oh, okay. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions about that sort of 5,000-foot level, or turn very briefly to agenda item number 1 before I hand it off for any more detail to James.
That if I can just quickly summarize my understanding of what we look at, we have 11 items on new business. If we look at the banks, that's 2 items. If we look at the ground lease cleanup, that's another 2 items. If we look at the name change just in NHP, that's another 2 items. So we're already at 6 of our 9 on literally cleanup and or positioning on if a default were to take place. just if that helps.
Yes. And then two of the remaining have to do with the formation of the town's commercial unit and the agreement that the town is entering into that obliges them to create it and us to purchase it.
Thanks, Thad.
Sure.
Any questions on that, or we'll dive into agenda item number 1? Great, agenda number 1, Thad, if you're good.
Sure. First reading ordinance 2612, an ordinance approving an addendum to the ground lease agreement between the town and West Main Apartments LLP. This is the most recent ground lease agreement that was approved on second reading at the last council meeting. Unfortunately, there was an addendum required by CHAFA that caught up to that document a little after the second reading, so we've had to bring it back. It is an addendum required by CHAFA, the Colorado Housing Finance Authority, again, to help it establish some rights with respect to the continued use of the property for affordable housing purposes. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions about it. This was actually an addendum to the previous version of the lease. It just didn't catch up with this most recent amended version prior to council's approval.
Thanks, Thad. Questions for Thad? No questions. I'll open up the public comment. Any public comment in chambers or online? Nope, no public comments online or in chambers. We'll bring it back to council for any further discussion or motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve first reading of ordinance 26-12.
Great. We have a motion and a second to approve 26-12. Please call the question.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Goldstein is absent. Held,
Yes.
Scripture Adrian. Yes. Hirsch,
Yes.
Aiken,
Yes.
and Allen.
Yes.
Great, thank you. We'll move into agenda item number 2, which is consideration and possible approval of termination of a ground lease for 101 West Main. And with that, we're to James. Oh, take us in that.
I was gonna see if we can't do this from 5,000 feet and maybe not get into the weeds. It's not very exciting. It would seem intuitive to you and to everyone in that room and to me, I think, that by way of these subsequent amendments, second amended and restated ground lease agreement, for instance, that it would be clear that the prior ground leases, the ones that had been existing before the amendment and restatement, had been terminated. But title companies like to see things in black and white and expressly. And so this is a request from them that there is an express approval of the termination of those prior ground leases, or at least the most immediately prior ground lease. And that is all that this is.
Great. Questions for Thad? Thanks, Thad.
Yeah.
No questions for Thad. I'll open up the public comment. Any public comment in chambers or online? Nope. Thanks, Stacy. No public comment online or in chambers. We'll bring it back to council for any further discussion or motion. Actually, do we need a motion? We're just approving the document.
Just approval of, motion to approve.
Yeah.
Yes, but we do need a first second.
Yeah, for a second.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the first agenda item number 2.
The rest of them are just
Yeah.
one time.
One time was the document.
Oh. Okay.
So if I read it, you can say agenda item number 2. Or read it.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve agenda item number 2.
We have a motion to approve and a second agenda item number 2, which is to terminate the ground lease for 101 West Main. Please call the question.
Aiken,
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Kibbe.
Yes.
Goldstein is absent. Held,
Yes.
Scripture Adrian.
Yes.
And Hirsch.
Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you, everybody. We'll brings us to agenda item number 3, which is consideration and possible approval of the declaration of covenants and plat map of the small planned community at 101 West Main. And with that, we're gonna start with you on all these stats, so I'm coming straight to you.
Sure, thanks. Again, I'm going to start higher level on this, and if we need to get into more detail, we may turn to the staff memo and James. This is necessary in order to accomplish the purpose of the town's purchase of the commercial unit out there. It makes reference to a small planned community. That is just a fancy, or maybe not so fancy, statutory way to refer to what is in legal essence a condominium. What this map will do is create out of that entire property 2 small planned community units. One will be however many, it's 600-ish, 600 to 700-ish, I think, square feet of town commercial unit on the first floor, the front of the building that faces the street. Everything else in that building surrounding that unit, virtually everything else on the grounds of those property will be part of the what is called by the plat the residential unit, which will take in both the building and parking areas, some of the other common areas. So that's what the plat map is doing. The declaration of covenants is really just part and parcel of any sort of subdivision of a planned community, condominium if you prefer, just for purposes of analogy. It is a pretty standard declaration of covenants. It puts the voting rights of the association in the hands of the owners pro rata relative to their ownership interests, and that is the case. And so the town will have only a fractional voting interest, but under the governing documents, the town will begin with and never have less than 1/3. It starts with a 3-member board. Will never have less than 1/3 of the membership of the executive board. So at least it will always have a seat at the table of meetings and a voice in the decision making. With that, I'm happy to answer questions or turn it over to James for any more detail.
Questions for that or detail requests from Dave? Not seeing any, opening it up to public comment, either in chambers or online. Thanks, Stacy. No public comment online, none in chambers. With that, I'll bring it back to council for perhaps a motion and a second for agenda item number.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the agenda item.
We have a motion and a second for agenda item number 3. Please call the question.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Inkin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Ibby,
Yes.
Goldstein is absent, Held,
Yes.
and Skrajak Adrian.
Yes.
Great, thank you, Stacy. With that, we'll move into agenda item number 4, which is consideration and possible approval of town right-of-way for infrastructure on 101 West Main. With that, we'll go back to that.
Sure. This agreement is very similar to the agreement that the council considered and approved, I believe it was 2 meetings back, with respect to the temporary use of town right-of-way adjacent to that subject property for purposes of the cell tower relocation during construction. Like that agreement, this one allows the NHP the NHP development entity and their construction contractor to go on to and make use of public right-of-way areas that are adjacent to the property on the south and on the west for purposes of construction of public or private infrastructure that attaches to public infrastructure, like water line improvements and service lines and the like. Also will allow for the construction of sidewalks and some parking out on the right of way that is required in connection with the agreement. It will be in effect until such time as the developer has pulled a certificate of occupancy for the subject units. And with that, I'm happy to take questions.
Questions for Thad on agenda item number 4? No questions. I'll open it up to public comment in chambers or online. Right? No public comment on chambers or online. We'll bring it back to council for discussion or motion.
Mr. Mayor, move that we approve agenda item number 4.
We have a motion and a second for agenda item number 4. Please call the question.
Gretchen Adrian,
Yes.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Bankin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Goldstein is absent and Howard.
Great, which takes us to agenda item number 5. Consideration and possible approval of an agreement regarding the declaration of covenants between U.S. Bank, Colorado Housing Finance Authority, and the town of Frisco for 101 West Main and that.
James, you getting bored yet? You want to grab this one?
Doing great.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'll keep going.
We planned this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This concerns the declaration of covenants that cause the or could potentially, in the absence of LIHTC funding, cause the affordability restrictions on the property right under the town's more standard form. And this agreement falls into one of those, the category of accommodating bigger lenders and grantors, state funding grantors, by putting them in positions of enforcement right, or with respect to the lenders, some degree of exception if they come into ownership of the property in order to protect their respective interests. And again, I would stop there unless you want more detail.
Questions for Thad or clarifying inquiries?
I got a question on that.
Yeah.
If it does go, does the low tech go away on that? If it goes into foreclosure and somebody else ends up with it, does it go into, condominium, sell at market rate or anything like that?
My understanding is that LIHTC, well, first of all, LIHTC financing will go away eventually, right? Forget about the necessity of a foreclosure for it to go away, right? LIHTC is only going to last for, a few decades. When it goes away, there will be underlying covenants on behalf of CHFA to ensure the affordability, and covenants from the town to ensure the affordability. Those covenants will not cause what I would call fairly extreme affordability levels, right, that you will enjoy under LIHTC. But it would default to affordability requirements outside of the context of a foreclosure. If there were a foreclosure by the bank of its big money, they could avoid, I believe, ultimately avoid both LIHTC and some, if not all, of the affordability covenants. It's an interesting question relative to CHFA. Let's hope we never have to think about it too awfully hard.
Good, Dan?
With the answer, yeah.
Well, the
Why
answer is there are covenants underlying the LIHTC financing that would very likely cause this project to be affordable forever.
Great. Any other questions? And this is what we talked about earlier, that the LIHTC funding is generally 30 years, and then it reverts to whatever the owner chooses to pursue going forward. If there were a default, it would still remain, up to your point, affordable, but it might lose its LIHTC.
Yes, with the possible except if it was the primary, if it was U.S. Bank foreclosing on its tens of millions, the whole thing could end up without affordability restrictions. But that's about the only situation.
Got it.
Because remember, I say could end up. That's if nobody, like the town, steps in to exercise their rights to redeem in that situation.
Right. Cool, other questions? Thank you, guys. With that, I'll open up the public comment on agenda item number 5. Any public comment in chambers or online? Not seeing online or in chambers, we'll bring it back to council for further discussion or a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item 5.
Sorry. We have a motion for agenda item number 5 and a second, please call the question.
Held,
Yes.
Skrupczak, Adrian,
Yes.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Inkin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Kitty,
Yes.
and Goldstein.
Great, thanks, Stacy. With that, we'll move into agenda item number 6, which is consideration and possible approval of Cedar Rapids SWAP subordination and standstill agreement for 101 West Main and that.
This is as the title strongly suggests, a subordination agreement that would put the town's loans to the developer entity as subordinate to what I understand to be the second largest financier in the deal. The first largest will be Bank One. The second largest will be Cedar Rapids. This particular item deals with the temporary construction loan. And only during that period, once the temporary construction loan was to switch to a permanent loan, that would be dealt with by the subordination agreement that we are about to chat with next on as item 7. And we probably should have combined these two items. My apologies.
And do we have a round number of what these two banks are in this project for yet?
Yeah, James, you want to help me?
Yeah. So Cedar Rapids is 4.6 million.
Yeah.
But Bank of side will be in the neighborhood of 16.5 to 17, plus their temporary construction loan, which will currently side right now is 17.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
And can you state your name for the record?
Brett Ruby.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Brett.
Just so we see the scale and stuff. Further questions?
Yeah, it's that on this agenda is really what, it's a big one, there's a lot of wording in this one, but it's just basically is creating the hierarchy of proxies. Is that what we're doing?
The hierarchy of entitlement in the event of foreclosure.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Great. Any other questions? Thank you, Thad. We'll open it up to public comments online or in chambers. No public comment online or in chambers. We'll bring it back to council for discussion or a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 6.
Second. Glad you kept track. With that, we have a motion to approve agenda item number 6. Please call the question.
Goldstein is absent, Held,
Yes.
Skrupczak, Adrian,
Yes.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Inkin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
and Kitty.
Yes. Thank you, Stacy. With that, we'll move into agenda item number 7, which is consideration and possible approval of Cedar Rapids subordination and standstill agreement for 101 West Main. And with that, back to that to explain the similarities.
Yes, essentially the same agreement as what was just approved with respect to the Cedar Rapids temporary financing, but this will apply to the permanent financing when that rolls temporary to permanent. Please correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Mr. Ruby.
US Bank construction loan is the temporary loan that is paid off by a combination of equity also coming from US Bank at the moment in time after completion, as well as permanent financing that pays off the construction.
Cool. Any other questions, gang? No further questions. I'll open it up to public comment online or in chambers. No public comment online or in chambers. I'll bring it back to council for discussion or a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 7.
Second.
We have a motion to approve agenda item number 7 in a second. Please call the question.
Kitty,
Yes.
Wilson is absent, Hell,
Yes.
Skipcheck Adrian. Yes. Hirsch,
Yes.
Aiken,
Yes.
and Al.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move into agenda item number 8, which is consideration and possible approval of Colorado Department of Housing landlord.
Estoppel, yeah. You can never remember if it's two S's or two P's.
Yeah.
It's two P's. This is one of those agreements that is similar to a subordination agreement, but concerns the state's rights with respect to securing its interest in grant money. So it puts the Colorado Department of Housing in a favorable enforcement position relative to the ground lease agreement. It also assures CDOH that, at least at the time we're entering into this agreement, the town has no concerns about whether that the tenant is not in breach under the lease, that the doesn't owe the landlord money, that sort of thing, those sort of assurances. And it is those assurances then that would in the future stop or prevent the town from making claims that, oh, indeed, after all, the tenant was actually in breach at that time. So your rights may not be so good. So that's what that agreement is about in its essence.
Thank you, Thad. Questions for Thad? We'll open up the public comment on agenda item number 8 on chambers or in line. We'll close public comment on line and in chambers and bring it back to council for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 8.
We have a motion to approve agenda item number 8 in a second. Please call.
Allen,
Yes.
Kitty.
Yes.
Goldstein is absent, Hell,
Yes.
Skipcheck Adrian. Yes. Hirsch.
Yes.
And Aiken.
Yes. Thanks, Stacy. Move on to agenda item number 9, which is consideration and possible approval of agreements for a loan from the town of Frisco to West Main Apartments LLLP for the affordable housing project at 101 West Main, including the second amendment and reinstatement loan agreement and second amendment and reinstatement promissory note. Promissory, yeah, thank you, promissory note, and second amended and reinstated leaseholder deed of trust, security agreement, financing statement, and assignment of rents and lease for 101 West Main. And that.
This is the approval of a loan agreement and all of those related financing documents and deed of trust and the like that incorporates now in one place and restates under one borrower who is the ultimate developer entity for this property, both the existing town loan of $2.5 million that the town loaned the developer a couple of years ago to facilitate the developer's purchase of the property. So it takes that $2.5 million loan, adds to it $2.4 million that the town has previously approved as an additional loan. And in fact, the town had previously approved not just 2.4, but 2.9 million. Help me with my math here, James, if I'm getting wrong. So this loan provides for 2.5 of existing already loaned money, 2.4 of new money that will definitely be borrowed for a total of 4.9 million. And then the opportunity for the lender to come back, or for the borrower to come back and borrow another 500,000 for a total of 5.4 million, all of which has either been formally and finally approved or approved in concept and dollar amount by prior action of the council that this formalizes. Happy to take questions about that.
Yep. Questions for that on the consolidation?
I'm sure this is nothing. I just noted though that the loan agreement, the tax investor does, Baycorp does, they have the ability to replace the general partner. And they need to notify the town. But the
Yes.
town has no option of that, or do we have a veto?
We wouldn't have an option in that. The in terms of replacement of the general partner, what that is doing is protecting the bank's right to maintain to have essentially a controlling interest in that development entity in the case that in the event that it were to foreclose on its loan to NHP, and then it would stand in the shoes of the developer and would need to go forward, right? Unless they sought to undo the deal completely. So no, the town wouldn't, but we don't have the town's interest in that limited liability partnership is a tiny fractional interest only for the purpose of accommodating a tax break potentially.
All right, thank you, Ted.
Any further questions? No further questions. We'll open up the public comment in chambers or online. Not seeing any online or in chambers, we'll bring it up to council for further discussion or motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 9.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve agenda item number 9. Please call the question.
Finken,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Gibby,
Yes.
Goldstein is absent, Held,
Yes.
Scripture, Adrian,
Yes.
and Hirsch.
Great. We'll move into agenda item number 10, which is consideration and possible approval of a forward purchase agreement between the town of Frisco and West Main Apartments LLLP for the purchase of a commercial unit at 101 West Main. And that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had made reference to this earlier in the discussion as the council was considering the plat map for the small plan community and the declaration of covenants. All of that consideration was for the purpose of accommodating the obligation on the part of the developer to construct a commercial unit at that property and the town's agreement to purchase it. The town will be putting the purchase price, I'm putting air quotes around that for just a second, of $500,000 into escrow, and the sale will actually close at such point in the future as the developer actually completes that unit. The council should also be aware that while we believe $500,000 is the purchase price, that purchase price has the ability to go up to a not to exceed limit based upon the builder's final certification of the costs of construction on a square foot basis and showing that it was not in the proportions that we thought they would be. So this, James, can you help me remember what the maximum we could pay on this? Was it 900 instead of 5?
750.
700?
750.
750. Thank you. So that is that agreement, and with that, I'm happy to take any questions on it.
Questions with that? Questions for James?
Why are we buying it?
Yeah, I was about to say, what's the point of use? So, right, so number one, why are we buying this? First off, whenever this project was being developed in its early concept, this was an item that the council expressed that they wanted to build. And so
They wanted a commercial.
they wanted a commercial unit built. And so as part of that negotiations, and we actually approved it in resolution when we appropriated the money, or excuse me, not when we appropriated the money, designated, straighten that out. Is that originally this was $1 million was budgeted for this commercial condos. Originally, it was roughly 1,500 square feet. Once the process has moved, we lowered that to roughly 650-ish square feet. So the price has went down as well. So the reason we're doing it is because it was requested by council to do that, and it was actually put in the PUD when the property was zoned. So that's why we're doing it. What we're going to do with it, that's still up for determination. That's something that we will bring forward to you at a later date. We need to actually make sure the project moves forward before we figure out what we're going to do with the space. So right now we've talked about us having it as a commercial space, renting it out. Is there a civic organization that we could work with to have a space in this? or there's tons of opportunities for whatever we think at that time.
Can I clarify a little bit, just to grab some background? At that time, you know, because it's zone mixed use, and we were looking at doing 100% residential and or keeping some mixed use in there. The bottom line was like for LIHTC, that they wouldn't cover it, they wouldn't cover that space, right? And so somebody had to carry that in order to keep that, you know, that commercial in there. We felt it was important, especially to vitalize that at Main Street, you know, bring some of the commercial. Depending on what goes in there, it will either, you know, vitalize it or not, but yeah, so that was, I think, basically it. Yeah.
What, there originally another space, commercial space?
I think it just got smaller.
We talked about the whole first floor is commercial. And then we looked across the street. And said, well, what's a happy medium here? Connector to West Main on that side of the street. It's evolved over time.
They will stay, the owner will still have a lease on the first floor.
That we won't be paying for, that's correct.
So the options are, we could become commercial landlords or potentially sell it off.
That's correct.
Yeah, 600 is not that big of commercial space. You're looking at a coffee shop or salon. It seems tight. I'm glad James, the price went down since it split in half.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Good questions. Any other questions? Clarifying? Cool, thanks, Thad. We'll open it up to public comment online or in chambers. No public comment online or in chambers. We'll bring it back to council for any further discussion or motion. That's agenda item number 10.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 10.
That's right. Great, we have a motion and a second to approve agenda item number 10. Please call the question.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Scripcheck Adrian, yes. Inkin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Kitty,
Yes.
Golds, absent, Held.
Yes.
Great, thanks, Stacy. With that, we're moving on to agenda item number 11, which is consideration and possible approval of assignment and assumption of Second Amendment and reinstated development agreement for 101 West Main and that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the whole deal now coming full circle around to from the first developer to the final development entity that will actually create the complex. This is distinct from the amended and restated ground lease agreement, right? This is the second amended and restated development agreement, the agreement that the town originally entered into with NHPF Foundation in 2023. There was an initial amendment. There was a second amendment. I believe it was a second amendment by which that the rights and obligations of the development agreement were transferred from NHPF to the local NHPF West Main LLC. Now this is the transfer from NHPF West Main LLC to the West Main Apartments Limited Liability Limited Partnership. So again, coming around full circle and matching both the development obligations and rights and the ground lease tenant to that final development entity. And again, happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Thad. Any questions for Thad? Great. We'll open it up to public comment online or in chambers. We'll close public comment and we'll bring it back to council for discussion or a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agenda item number 11.
We have a motion to approve agenda item number 11 in a second. Please call the question.
Allen,
Yes.
Hirsch,
Yes.
Scripcheck Adrian,
Yes.
Inkin,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Kitty,
Yes.
and Golds.
Great. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Thad. that, we have no further items on this agenda, but we do have a housing authority meeting right after this. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? Aye. Aye, we are adjourned. We'll take a few minutes and we'll open up the housing authority.
Hey, Thad, we're switching Zooms.
Okay, I
On
will,
that- It's
I'll
on that
look-
same friscogov.com page.
yep,
We'll see
I
you
saw
over
it.
there.
I will log out and get back in over there.
Okay. See you over there.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
yep.
This chapter.